welcome back to Veteran Idiot. I'm Art. Hey, this is a family program. Anyways, I'm Art. And still waiting on motor mounts. We're not working on Earl today. I got something else going on. And we're not getting rid of this guy either. Still working on that. But I got something else I need to do. Actually, I need to get the keys. So I've had Fineberg's K5 sitting here forever. It's about time to finish it up. It's got a weird vibration in the drive line. Needs the power windows upgraded and some lights thrown in the front and some seals. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out some of that stuff today so we can have it back and actually drive it around rather than it sitting here rotting away in my yard. Let's see if it starts up. See, the battery's still good. Right. Come on, battery. Ooh, that's a good sign. Why? Why don't you want to turn? What's going on here? What's the deal? Why are you the way you are? This is new. There we go. All right, let's see. That's not promising. Maybe it just doesn't have enough voltage to kick over. Let's throw the charger on it. So, here's our deal. Put this little guy in here. Show you what we're dealing with here. That's enough voltages. Should be firing over, but it's not. So this one turned into, let's throw some seals on it and get it back to Fineberg so he can drive it around. Now we're at, why isn't it running? See, I can smell the fuel at the exhaust pipe. Why isn't it going anywhere else? Alright, I'm gonna put a little fuel down there. Yep. Ooh. Oh. You can tell it's good fuel because it's yellow. Buzzer is terrible. Why? Heard the pump. Nothing. Why? Why nothing? All right. That's it. So the fuel I dumped all over it was everywhere. I got nothing. Nothing even started to fire, not even a grumble, nothing. So I believe we got no spark, but I'm not sure why there'd be no spark unless the coil just kicked the bucket. Also see we got some vacuum leaks going on. Try and plug those up while we're down in here, but I don't understand what has happened since I moved this over here and now that it doesn't run, other than the coil probably took a dump. So let's check that out first. All right, got the spark checker in. You guys stay here. Let me know if it does blinky things. See anything? I got no power at the coil here. I don't know what's going on. GM's so perfect. They fire up all the time. There's no problems at all. Dead. Well, run through all the power and everything. So we do have power to the coil. But the coil pack isn't firing. So I'm gonna run over to AutoZone. We're gonna take Earl here, get him out, run over to probably O'Reilly's, pick up a new coil pack, and see if we can't get it started so we can get it in the garage and start working on this stuff. Well, changed out the coil, so that's not the issue. It got power to it. I ain't talking to you, woman. So let's give it a crank, see if it fires up. Cross your fingers and toes. Well, I guess that answers that question. Well, it won't start. Got power to the coil, power out of the coil, nothing coming out of the distributor. I don't feel like tackling that right now, so I'm gonna do exactly what it needs and put the headlights in and fix the power windows outside rather than inside. All right, so since we established this thing isn't going anywhere anytime soon, we'll go ahead and change the headlights. That way you can see the back of Not Mint really, really well as it continues to sit here for an undetermined amount of time. So it's got these LED lights in them, but they're starting to turn yellow and they don't match the ones on the bottom. So we got 4 new ones. I'm gonna grab them for you. We got 4 new ones that are also LED and it'll plug in. However, they're more of the halogen look. And so we'll put all 4 of these bad boys in there. We'll take those places. Should look pretty good. Let's get started on it. Should be plug and play. But I thought this thing would start up and play today too, and it did not. So let's get these little bits out of here. Well, I'll be. This thing is just giving us all kinds of hell. Between the fuel pump having issues with the fuel line disintegrating in the fuel tank. You can see that in this episode up here. To the issue with the drive line, and there was a check engine light, and now they got no spark at all. I'm not sure what all that issue is about, but at least we can change the headlights and fix the power windows. And really what I mean by fixing the power windows is we're swapping out the harness with a bigger relay, bigger wiring, or you get more juice and the window doesn't come down at the speed of like sloth mode. And with this harness, it's supposed to help it out that where it goes up and down with a quickness. That way you can get your fingers in there and it just takes them clean off. And tourniquet squishes the blood vessels so you don't bleed anymore. All in the same motion rather than just crushing it till they do nothing. These suckers need replaced with some new ones that aren't so faded. But I think probably figuring out why it's not driving on the road would take priority over that. But I don't know. I'm just assuming there. Alrighty then. I was wondering if these lights would come with a new chrome ring. As it turns out, they do not. So we'll reuse these. Wow, the lenses came completely out of this thing. Does not appear that they had much life left in them. As you can see, that lens came completely off. See if I don't step on that in a minute. Pop that bad dog out. Ugh. Pop this bad dog in. All right, there is an upper and lower, obviously for the high beams, low beams. Push that through. Where did that fall? Oh my God, it's the same color as the gravel. There it is. Got it. All right. Next is the top one. Will say that whatever these were that were in here, super freaking bright. Turbo S2 1 twice, Roman numerals 2. Come off. Jeez. Huh? So headlights on these things are pretty easy to change out. The only problem with them is that there's little adjusters on either side, or just a little plastic clip holding the screw in, and they always disintegrate. Like you try and adjust it at all, they just pull through or they disintegrate. It's just not a great design. And then everything you go to buy to fix it is all plastic as well, so it's just not great. All Dorman, for lack of better words, garbage. It'd be neat if somebody sold like a billet one. All right, pop this back on, and we will already be done with this side. And there you have it, that side's done. A before and an after. Let's turn on the headlights, see what we got. Maybe those will work. Oop, gotta plug it in. It's the small details. All right, here we go. Hit the brights. Nothing, 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 nothing. Bottom doesn't work. Why not? We're plugged in. What is going on? There we go. All right, it's a polarity thing. Sweet, nice. Now let's swap that side. Ta-da! I guess I should turn on the headlights, see if they actually work on this side. On to the next. All right, so what we're doing with this here wiring harness is we're gonna pop this whole door panel off. It's gotta come off. The two relays will bolt underneath the armrest onto this side. You tie in the wires to the motor and between the switch and the motor, and then you run those power wires from the relays all the way over to the batteries. By doing that, we're giving it all kinds of juice, more power to go up and downy. The more power you give the motor to go up and down, the faster it goes, within some limits. We don't want it to shoot down, shatter, and then kill everybody in the neighborhood. All right, so we got a bunch of Phillips screws here. Lots of them. All right, it's finally starting to cool down here in Arizona. It's only about 90, mid-90s-ish right now, and I can tolerate it. I can stand out here. I can talk to you. The camera stays on. What? These are all things we're not used to. The heat was just too much for the camera, it seemed. No screw, no screw, screw. This here screw isn't doing much of anything. So, neat fact, I thought all Blazers were K5s. This one apparently is a V10. I don't know why it changed, but it's not a K5. Or maybe it is and I just don't know the difference. There we go. These plugs have been on here since the dawn of time. They don't want to come off. Hooray for me. I'll just leave that guy like that. So these two bolts here look like 7/16. Those two bolts come off, and then these two relays pop in right there. All right, so need to pull the blue wire apart on here and this brown wire off of here, and then we're going to splice between the two. One going one way, the other one going the other way, and then the blue, the same thing between the two, in and out. Signal in and out. Make sure you always stay hydrated when you're out here. It'll creep up on you. There we go. If you can hear me breathing through this thing, I apologize. Just trying to breathe. Let me be. Why don't you want to come on? Come on, little fella. What's the big problem? Too cool to come on? So these wires are fused together. You just gotta peel them apart, but this one has been fused together for all of its life. So it doesn't want to separate. Like a good little fella. Yeah, there we go. All right, so you want to cut these pretty close to the relay here. Because like I said, they got to go in line. Brown wire with silver dashes. That's this fella, goes to the switch. All right, and then this big dog wire is going to go to this big dog wire here. All right, so I got this whole side done with the relays here. They're tied in. These are butt connectors are put in. This is going to run across here, in here, through this tube and into the kick panel. So we need to get this kick panel off so we can route that stuff through. Shooby dooby doo. There's a ton of screws in this one. They all look like they're 7 millimeters. What the? Give it the 1/4 inch first, see what it gets us. Nothing. Gets us nothing. GM start doing millimeters. 7 millimeter on the dot. Who would have known? I knew because I said it before we started. That should be all 25 of them. There we go. Oh, look. Come out of there, you son of a biscuit eater. All right, I'm gonna shove my handy dandy tube down in there and pull these wires through. So this tube is gonna allow us to pass these wires. I'm gonna shove it through this grommet and into the door, and that'll allow us to get to where we need to go. There she goes. Captain, imagine shoving those wires through without this tube. It's just a massive pain in the arse. Through. Oh man, that one won't go through, so we're gonna have to figure that guy out. Maybe shove a hanger through, tape it all the way up, and then we'll pull the tube out over the hanger. I think that's what we'll do. Let's get this one through first. Oh, you see that? Popped right out. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Shazam! Just like that. Best tool in the world, I'm telling you what. Zip tie all this up. All right, those are pulled back through. Let's put this door panel back up so we don't break these switches. All right, passenger side, so we're gonna repeat the process. Hit them with the time lapse, Sheila. So we're wired in up through here. I still gotta put all this business back in. It took me like 2 hours. It didn't take that long. It took me a long time to get this out because it's got that vacuum air vent in it. So I won't put you through that guy. And the sun's going down, so you won't see it anyways. But so we're all wired up. It's run up to the battery up there, and as you can see, she goes down a lot faster. Needs some new guides in the tracks and stuff like that because it's kind of jumping around and it needs some help going back up. It wants to pop out here, but aside from that, there it goes. All right. It goes up a lot faster, goes down a lot faster. Just needs some alignment, stuff like that. So the kit's really worth it for these trucks, especially with the factory power windows. The relay and the switch just isn't giving it enough. Sorry, this relay connected directly to the battery gives it that juice that it needs, gets it going up and down a lot faster. You don't have to wait 20 minutes for it to get to the bottom of the track. But that's going to do it for tonight. I'm going to put this together by myself in the dark. I don't think there's any coyotes out tonight. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that super thanks if you liked the episode. Kind of a short one, but I enjoyed it, even though this thing isn't going to move under its own power for a little bit. We'll get that figured out. Maybe in the next episode. But until then, have fun.